Hey, what's up? It's Scavenger Reviews here, and I'm making a different kind of video actually. Not something funny, not something not a review, just a personal topic that I happen to like. Uh, Panic attacks. Aren't those fun? Don't we all love having those? They're just the greatest. Um, I have panic attacks from time to time. I don't know if they're necessarily panic attacks or they're anxiety. I don't have a therapist. I don't die. I am a master of self-diagnosis. That's about all I can do. But I don't know. I have panic attacks sometimes, or anxiety attacks. I don't know what the hell they are. But I really you know, like in a both joking and serious way, representation matters. And this is actually a video I've been meaning to do for a while now, but I'm just now getting to it. But representation matters because, I don't know, for instance, there's a couple examples. There's basically any time in a war movie or a movie with a lot of fighting, a lot of action, there's always that one character who snaps and just goes off the fucking deep end. And usually that's just treated as an obstacle. Like somebody goes over and slaps him and is like, get it together, man. Or I've seen some movies, I can't think of like specific examples. I do have two for the ones I want, yada yada. But I've seen some movies where they just kind of let the person go nuts for a minute and then they calm down. Which, I mean, that also works. Honestly, I've never had a panic attack in front of someone that I couldn't uh like process myself, basically. I have this playlist of music that helps me calm down, basically. And I just listen to that, and 5 minutes later, I'm good and back to going. Kind of depressing that I've streamlined the process of having an anxiety/panic attack. But hey, that's the world we live in, and I'm just no medication, like very few hours of sleep. I'm just out here raw dogging this life. Um, However, there are two specific examples that I want to bring up. Is because they're just the most recent things I've seen. They're not necessarily the best possible examples. They're probably like 10, 15 different better examples out there. But I really like the scene from Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, where he they're in the they're on their way to the wish, and Puss sees. If you've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I'll try to describe it as best as I can. But Puss sees the personification of death, who's been chasing him for the whole movie, and the whole movie is weighing on him more and more and more and more on him of how finite life really is, and how he's at the end of his rope and he's on his last life. And there's a spot where he's fighting Jack Horner and Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and they're I don't know, it's getting pretty serious, I guess. And Puss has this moment where he kind of realizes that he's in danger, and it's something he's never felt before, really. And he felt that in the beginning of the movie when he had the first encounter with death, but just more, that was the encounter with like a single opponent, and that obviously terrified him. But that's a single opponent, so you could justify it in your head. Well, this particular person is incredibly dangerous. But the way I interpreted it, that's hard to say, interpreted it. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Anyways, though, I took it to mean that he's in the crowd and he's seen people dying around him. There's the people getting shot by Jack Horner. and they're fucking dying. Like, you cannot tell me they are not absolutely dead. They turn to unicorn streamers and stuff like that. They're dead. They're dead. You know? And Puss kind of realizes just how easily, I guess, he could be shot by one of these or this or that. Because even though in reality he's still your favorite fearless hero and could probably do all this easily, he's just so caught up on the fact that he could fail. It's like when you're playing a game and you are like on your last like little bit of life. You got like this much life left, you know, and you know that I just need 3 more damn hits. And if you had plenty of life, you could do those 3 hits no problem. You know, probably not even get hit once. Who knows? I'm looking at you, Genichiro from Sekiro. I'm looking at you. You know, you could probably do those last 3 hits easy. But because you have that last little bit of health, and you ought to use one of your revives and stuff like that in Sekiro, you're like, and every single moment is so tense, you know. But in actuality, there's no fear in that because, you know, it's a video game and stuff. But that's the feeling that, you know, Puss felt. And he runs. He just splits. Nobody, like, really understands why. And Polito chases after him. And the whole movie, Polito is, like, a therapy dog. And he's like, rub my belly. Well, he's not a therapy dog. He's training to be a therapy dog. And he's like, rub my belly, it's good. And alright, so Puss runs off and hides behind a tree. Excuse me. And he just starts freaking out. He starts hyperventilating. He's kind of sitting / leaning, like, you know, leaning back against the tree. And he's hyperventilating and he keeps looking around. And Polito is there and he's trying to comfort Puss. And he's trying to make Puss feel better by, you know, comforting him. And at first he's like, Puss, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I wouldn't say he's ignoring him because when you're in that kind of state, you don't really ignore so much as you like forcibly tune out. It's not really a conscious effort. I'm not recommending having a panic attack. I'm not like, you should go have this feeling. It's a good feeling. No, it's a bad feeling. But you kind of just forcibly tune out. Your eyes become like tunnel vision, I think is what the word I'm looking for. A phrase I'm looking for. Term I'm looking for. And after a second, Polito, it's the simplest thing, but all he does is rests his head on Puss's stomach and just sits there for a minute, just letting him kind of calm down that way. And after a second, Puss reaches his hand and just starts petting Polito. And after a second, calms down and starts breathing normally again. And I don't know, that was a powerful scene that I did not expect to see in the Puss in Boots movie. I did not like the last Puss in Boots movie. I've seen, like, in the past few weeks, there's been, like, people saying, like, oh, the first Puss in Boots is slept on. It's really good. Y'all just didn't like it. I rewatched it recently. It's not good. Like, call me bandwagoner. Call me, you know, just go with the flow guy. But I really only like Shrek 1, 2. I don't like 3. And I don't like 4. I know 4 gets a lot of, like, respect and stuff like that, and it's, like, the one that people say is the sleeper hit, but I've watched 4 in a marathon and by itself, like, separately. I've tried to like this movie because I want to like it, you know? Because it is, like, on paper, a good movie, but I don't think I like the world as much as I like the movies. In Shrek 1 and 2... I'm not really there for the greater world. I'm there for the characters. I'm there for the plot. Well, I'm there for what kind of the plot? I don't know. The plot was more simple in Shrek 1 and 2. Shrek complicated it a little bit, but I just don't know. I don't like Shrek 4. It's Forever After. It was just kind of too much of a look into this world where I wanted more of the satire, and it's kind of... Now, I didn't personally feel this, but I could feel it. I'm thinking of a parallel between the Ratchet and Clank games. I could definitely see somebody not liking the later Ratchet and Clank games, the PS3 Future games, because it moved away from the satire of the PlayStation 2 games and was less about the stories were very simple in the PS2 games. And that's not an insult. I love Ratchet and Clank. I have all of the games except for Secret Agent Clank. I have all of the games. I've played all of the games. And when I say I played all the games, I played them all a few times. I've even beat Full Frontal Assault twice. Twice. Why? I don't know why I did that to myself, but I even beat Full Frontal Assault twice. And I'm gonna play through it again because me and my brother are doing a marathon, and right now we're on Size Matters, But I'm gonna play through it again. I don't know. Oh. Yeah, I could see somebody drawing the same parallel between Ratchet and Clank and the Shrek franchise. Whereas the first two Shrek movies are the PlayStation 2 games, 3 and 4 are the PlayStation 3 games. But I like Ratchet and Clank. I think that did it very well, because that was an interesting enough story that when it switched over from being like less story, more focused on like humor and action, and then it switched over to more story and like a deeper, complex narrative that spanned like 3 games. Really, it was really only Tools of Destruction, Quest for Booty, and Crack in Time. All for One and Full Frontal Assault, those are arguably even canon. I don't think they are, but I personally like All for One, so I don't really mind having it as my canon, but I do not like Full Frontal Assault, so I don't want to call that one canon. But here's the problem. Into the Nexus, which absolutely is canon. Boy, y'all just love this video about Puss in Boots? Well, it's not just about that. But anyways, and Into the Nexus, which is canon, it has Stuart Zergo, which is the villain from the Full Frontal Assault game. So you have to accept one if you accept the other. You can't just pick favorites. So it's all canon or none of it's canon. Or only Tools of Destruction, Quest for Booty, and A Crack in Time are canon. And All for One, Full Frontal Assault, and Into the Nexus are all not canon. And I really like All for One and Into the Nexus. I just think Full Frontal Assault is a huge stinker. I don't like it very much. I don't know. That's the game with the tra-la-la, I don't like Full Frontal Assault very much. And then Rift Apart was pretty good, but it is way too sappy and way too kiddie. I mean, like, I don't know. I felt like I was watching fucking Care Bears on some of those sections. Like, just watch Video Game Donkey's review. This will be like the second video in a row I've referenced him because he's great and like a way better YouTuber than me. First of all, he actually edits his videos. I don't know. I just can't do that. I can do this, but like that doesn't really do much except for just confuse people because I'm editing a lot and just messing around. The pause and record button, I can just do stuff like that. That's about it. That is about it. That's all. That's the extent of my editorial prowess. Anyways, I've decided I'm not going to talk about the second example that I had because I haven't watched it since it came out, which was like a year ago. So I'm not as familiar as what I was going to say as my second example, but I just wanted to, I guess, talk about Panic Attacks, Puss in Boots, and Ratchet and Clank. Yeah. I don't know. I'm currently just waiting to get a text back from someone to go over to someone's house. So I figured might as well make a video. And I like to do them in my car because I don't know. I have thin walls where I live, and I live with my siblings. So I don't know, man. But that's about it. It's getting kind of too dark to even see like the video. Like I can see outside. It's not too dark outside. Yeah. Now you can see outside. Oh shit, that's not closed. Anyways, but that's pretty much it for the video. Yeah. So this has been Scavenger Reviews, and I'm signing off. I'll see you guys later. Check out another one if you like my stuff. This is a little bit different. Maybe, if I get more than 3 views on this, I'll do more like thoughtful like videos and stuff like that. So that's I'll set my goalpost. I want to set a high goal, 5 views. If I get 5 views on this video, I'll do another one. Where I just talk about something like this instead of a movie or things I like. Alright, see you guys later.